Fire, what you saying?
Yes, I give thanks for life, same speed, you know?
Serious thing. We are here again, Ballhead and the Dread on the remote vibe because Far Eyes in a what they say a remote location, right?
Yeah,
Far Eyes,
undisclosed.
Far Eyes in an undisclosed location, so the vibe set. Give thanks for everyone tuned in. Looking forward to being back in the studio. I have to remind the people, make sure you're joining the membership vibe, and also I have the email list vibe at the bottom. Make sure you check it out. Far Eye, what we're reasoning about today?
Well, today we're reason about the great honorable Malcolm X, you know. Much respect to the work. So they're the same way we're talking about principles, certain principles within the man himself, where every man can relate to. Or rather enough it to every human being we can relate to and for benefit and use it to benefit them life, you know.
No, serious thing and a great topic, Far Eye. I'm not sure if you want Kickstarter, you want me to Kickstarter, because he's a bridge that truly inspired me to be a better person. I think too many times, unfortunately, right? Unfortunately, too many times when we see people greater than us or doing better things than us, it's a grudgeful vibe instead of an analytical vibe and an adopting vibe. I'm a pirate, Fire Eye. Everyone I'm around who has a trait that supersedes what I can do, I try to mimic that and I adopt that. And I really have done that with Malcolm X. One of the things that's really, I say I've adopted is that his commitment to his purpose, right? And I think when we say purpose, far right, too many times the capitalistic ideology kind of covers that. And you can have a purpose in life. The reason that you're here that's not tied to finances. I think that's some financial guru ideology where everything has to be tied to finances, but your purpose and a sense and that commitment to the purpose. And what I've noticed and what I've experienced in my own life is that you get conflicted in your spirit about your purpose. Because when you're really dealing with the purpose fight, it's not an easy road. I think, I think far I, far I think that people equate this. Gotta laugh, right? It's not funny. I think people equate this purpose thing to like some utopia or something.
Yeah, the sweet sailing is
Yeah,
supposed
yeah,
to smooth.
yeah. And the thing actually is rougher. And I always admired that about brother Malcolm in the sense that he stayed the path of his purpose, regardless of what took place. He had many obstacles. I think crossroads he faced was the breaking away from the Nation of Islam. I think that was very crushing to his spirit because he was so committed to it. Information he found out about Elijah Muhammad. I'm pretty sure he was aware of the jealousy, but people really turning on him and him being ostracized from a movement that he put so much effort into. But to still stand the course fire, knowing that people wanted you dead, knowing that people despised and hated you, and he still stayed the course, and I think that's something that we can, and obviously he's not the only figure, but we're highlighting Malcolm X today, but that's something people really need to adopt in regards to whatever conviction you have in your heart, really staying the course and being fully committed to it. And shockingly enough, when you are fully committed to something, you do start to see results, whatever results are for you, whatever you identify as results. I just want to be clear when I'm talking about purpose, I'm not talking about finances. If your purpose aligns to your occupation, then bless your soul. But many people have a purpose here. First, you need to identify it. You need to be committed to it, and you need to really stay that journey.
Yeah, and I think it's a whole case of acknowledgement. You have to acknowledge the things that don't work. And I think that was one thing where Malcolm X very, very keen and good at while him so steadfast within purpose. I think one thing he used to drive it is okay, say these never work. All right, I was a criminal here. All right, I never did this right here, brother. So here's the thing that we're going to do right now. So him have a whole process baked out within the movements them, and that in itself now driving purpose even further. And when things don't work, it put him mind more at ease, because I realize like when questions are be asked or fired at Malcolm X, it's not a man who just jump for answer. And it's a real thing. We realize anybody who is purpose driven will understand that impulse is not the thing that will guide your direction. So it never made the impulse guide in direction. It's more about, okay, I know this is what I want to do. this is the game plan towards me getting towards my goals where I want to fulfill and this purpose where I want to fulfill to the fullest extent. And then we acknowledge that these things took place. And once we acknowledge that these things took place, then we know how to build on it. Just like one time the man I'm asking, bro, after him, same time when he left the Nation of Islam and him say, I go Mecca, him say, I go find himself the same way. Find himself in my wonder if this is a new journey, this is the new approach. When them see him come back to US, them say, oh, is this the same man? What changed? What is different? We start understanding him realize that him can't stay within him same space and strive and finding purpose in a chaotic environment. So once the environment is chaotic, you have to more leave that chaotic environment, external chaotic environment, seek for dig for find your internal true purpose and direction. And right after that, if you realize about purpose, right after that, the man come back and build the Muslim Inc. Once the man build the Muslim Inc., the man build the OAAU right after that. So that is what you call purpose, because a man understand that his religion is his personal thing. His purpose is to remain a committed religious man. So he build an organization for that, but he did not isolate the overall purpose of unification, which is what him set out to do from the get-go. So him still recognize that, but realize that there's different entities that him have to use to carry out all of these different things. And I feel like in our life, we need to learn how to do that, because you can't get to your purpose if you have 10 cluttered tasks every single day. You understand? If you have 10 cluttered tasks every single day and your brain not have no organization and you don't know how to acknowledge certain things, then your purpose not going to fulfill. And that is where I really feel like they add towards the development of most people when it comes towards purpose, you know?
No, serious thing. And that ties into the next part to another key practice everyone should adopt is that being a student of life. Being a constant. I think sometimes, I don't know if it's the age, I don't know if it's the arrogance, I don't know if it's the ignorance, but people get to the point where they feel they know, people get to the point where they feel they know a lot. And we're always learning. You should always be a student of life, always be open to learning and kind of have that energy, and have that zest and that yearning for more information. I think he demonstrated that throughout his whole life, and that's why he was able to evolve into different aspects of his being, because he was analyzing himself and he was growing and he was being truthful and having hard conversations with himself. Say, fight, this can't work. This can't work. So this is a new thing we have to be on it. This makes more sense. I think sometimes we're so bogged down with like a dogma in a sense of how we live, and we're exposed to ideas or behaviors that are actually beneficial, but we don't really rock with them because that's not the original teaching or the original way that we've been exposed. So being a student, studying, you brought up another great point too. I witnessed this. And Farrakhan does this also. Basically, all brilliant speakers do this. Anyone with sense. When he's asked about a topic he doesn't know, he says he doesn't know. End the story, fire, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Not babbling and talking with you. Simple. I just don't know. And I can look it up and we can get back to it. But I'm not in a position to speak on this particular matter. And I think wise people understand that. Because it's totally pointless. What am I speaking about if I'm not well versed in the topic?
You see, that's a the whole thing, being a student of life, there's one thing we even learn from them, as they say. Silence is better than useless chatter.
Facts.
Because if you sit down and meditate, when even the speech of Malcolm X, I tell you about the media. I tell you about the media. I tell you, say, the media will make a bad person, will make a bad person look good and a good person look bad same way. You got to try to show you, so watch this now. You're going to always get caught by the media because you're missing the bigger picture. You're missing the bigger picture. You thinking that the bigger picture is for you to just speak and sound good or make these words sound good according to them, when they must say from your articulate. People mistake being articulate for intelligent, And I feel like that is one thing where Malcolm X comes set the record straight that no, okay, we can, even though we can do both of them, let's be guided and understand what the difference is between being articulate and being intelligent. It's not just about talking a whole bunch of things. It's about once you go to speak, you make an impact. If this is a topic, you make an impact. I want to tell you, say, when Malcolm X, most of Malcolm X speeches, once him finish, it was a trending topic. It's like how things trend on YouTube nowadays. It was a trending topic in a places like Harlem Harlem once Malcolm X speech is finishing. And I feel like with connecting to the grassroots and connecting to the people, that is one thing where you must learn within the whole being a student of life. Like you can't be a student of life where feel like you know it all, you know too much, you know too much. If you know too much, then it's gonna be a problem because then you're gonna start get confused and you're gonna go reach all of these ego trip and them thing, and these people don't know because you see once they think they know it and you start to give them any form of additional information to what they don't know currently, it's almost like people shun you. And I feel like they understood that he, as an orator, understand how to deliver messages, and understand that life is a thing where it just greater than any one human being, and there's so many different ecosystems within this particular life, and people need to understand that. So I feel like Malcolm X again is that model example for show people that I can grow from this one phase to the next phase, and life is a beautiful thing. It's just like a caterpillar and a butterfly, but the butterfly can't come out at the cocoon until the time is right. And when the time is right, I want certain things have to happen first for teachers. It's not like life is just against you. Life is just against you. You're so bad luck or whatever. It's just that life comes with different things, and being a student you have to understand that these are all important things towards your development. Malcolm X took that, understood that, and fulfill a role from start to finish and made an impact, and that's what students of life do. Yeah.
No, serious thing, far right. And the last one I want to touch on is courage, right? Now, yes, the Brethren was a revolutionary Brethren, a human rights Brethren. But when we speak about courage, um, it's a universal concept that could be applied to anything. And the whole point is fire, not letting fear conquer you. You get what I'm saying? There's many positions where this man, whether he stood up for a particular topic, dealt with certain situations, he could have ran from certain situations. Is that courage? Courage. We need to be more courageous in our lives, you know. And when we say take risks, I ain't talking about jumping out in a plane. I think risking, like, I remember this brand they had no fear or something. I thought it was the silliest thing. We all have fears as our relationship with the fear. You get what I'm saying? We have reckless behavior versus like actually like I'm terrified of doing this thing that will take years to complete, but I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna stick in there and I'm gonna endure. That's courage, and that's what I'm referring to. I'm not talking about uh what's the high they get from uh fire. You know what I'm saying? The high they get from doing those type of activities. You know?
Yeah, the adrenaline type.
There we go.
Yeah.
Adrenaline rush, right? I think that's what when we talk about no fear, it's adrenaline rush. Now, if we talking about the long, slow burn grind, we really with the ups and downs and turnarounds, and you go stick in there and get this thing done. And I respect to the brother for setting that example because I think too many times with our leaders, the focus is too much on speeches, but not example. We're not analyzing what the person did in their time while they were here. And if you analyze the Brazian with all the stress and pressure he was under, he was a very courageous man. Because even changing his ideology, far right, you get what I'm saying? That's a serious part. That's a serious thing because one could argue this is a different conversation, but one could argue that Martin Luther King was more radical at his death than Malcolm X. And that's a big change fire because Malcolm X was burning the fire hot. And he looked within themselves and he said, fire, this not where it's at, and the change is approaching this and that. So that's a courageous effort. So we all need to identify areas of our life where we need it. We know fire. We know the things we're running from. People know the things they're running from fire. And what I've learned in my little short life is like the things I'm running from, I need to run towards it. I can't lie to you. The thing, in my experience, the thing that I was scared to do is the thing that I need to do. In my personal experience, I can't speak for the next one. That's been the accurate situation in my life where I had to be courageous and deal with certain things I was tentative with dealing with. And those have been the best experiences of my life. They haven't been the easiest experiences. I want to be clear. We're not selling utopia, right? But they've been the best experiences. So it's something in the psyche, it's something in your spirit that kind of gives you a nod to what you really need to be courageous with. Those are things you probably need to look at and get on top of.
But so that's why I just bring something to my brain. I don't want people. overlook the concept of by any means necessary, you know. It's not something for overlooking it. That is courage
True.
beyond words, you know, because when we say so by any means necessary, we're telling you that there is nothing that can stop us from getting to our destination. And that is the ultimate courage that anybody could actually mention at all for you. Because you see, like there is, if you switch up your ideology and come on a public forum to explain the switching of your ideology because you found that there was a glitch in this particular system this particular thought process. You think somebody want to come to that?
And,
You know.
and far, I just have to add, apologies for cutting. Remember, you're scorned by your near peers, and you're scorned by the media too. You get what I'm saying? So it's not just the media fight; it's the circle now that get wicked with you. I just had to throw that in so people kind of
No, but that is crucial. So that is not so we can be left up because the average person, them don't they even though they pretend tough, they don't want any confrontation. Confrontation is, especially if it comes to the accountability that comes with that confrontation. That's a no for most people. Malcolm X did that and held himself accountable for things that he did not do correct and say, okay, within this ideology, here's what we're going to correct. That I would say again, this courage thing, because people think that courage is just being aggressive and angry, you know. And I think
fact.
that is the big misconception where most people come in that overstand is a courage of have strategy. At the first part of the game that because we all know that as all right, Thomas Sankara and Malcolm X have something similar way. But when we take from the two of them, I know it's a Malcolm X reason, but I have mentioned this when Thomas Sankara mentioned say a man with a gun that don't have any education, he's just a mercenary. See, that is a very important thing for knowing. And I feel like that Malcolm X come really live out that experience and show you this. And when so by any means necessary material, self-defense is very crucial towards your development. And you have to understand this thing that is the ultimate courage because him tell us regardless if it's a system, external system, the internal system, any structure, any organization, from this is what you believe in and this is what you are doing. There's nothing that can come in the force that can come in the way to stop you from getting towards your destination. And how many people willing to tackle a system for the just cause and then mention on top of that by any means necessary. By any means necessary, I am going to do this. Knowing that you're a target. And this man literally come on an interview and say, I am a marked man. And yet still you come and tell people that you are a marked man and still deliver that same message. A lot of the average person would stop that immediately and divert from fulfilling any form of action. And they did that. And that to me says courage more than anything else because that in itself now motivate you to know say, oh, the journey might be rough, yes. It not be the same physical threats way like we come towards him. But there's a lot of obstacles where you go face and blockers where you go face in your way. And a lot of them might seem very intimidating. Are you going to change course? Are you going to tell yourself that I'm going to get this by any means necessary? And that is it.
Reality words sound far right. And anyone tuned in, um, I know you have the autobiography of Malcolm X. I do recommend that you read it. But I know Far Right and me agree on any means necessary compilation of speeches and
Crucial book.
yeah, powerful
Crucial.
book. And also too, man, while you're walking, while you're in the car, depending on your data situation, depending on your data situation on your phone, but they got some powerful reasons from Malcolm X on YouTube. I'm telling you. So I know we have an issue with technology sometimes, but you can utilize it for something beneficial. And that's something you should be doing. Put it in the background when you're cooking, walking, chilling with the fam. Powerful reasons from Malcolm X. Make sure you check that out too. So we give thanks for everyone same way for tuning in. We will be back in the studio soon. And until next time.
Yes, sir.